Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. We are back with another installment of our best of series for Flame of Laevateinn. I just now noticed it is just Flame of Laevateinn. I've been calling it Flames of Laevateinn, I think. Well, that's embarrassing, but this set is set to drop on February 2nd, 2024. We're less than a month away now. I'm really excited, and today we're going to be covering Havencraft. A lot of the cards that I'm covering today are going to be centrally focused or worked into the Stormhaven deck, which is a pretty much new strategy. I think the thing about Haven now is that it's kind of always been, like, as soon as Aegis came out, it's pretty much always been Aegis. You know, that's always been the best strategy. But this is actually, in my opinion, a really cool and, if nothing else, really fun strategy that I hope, as I cover these cards, you guys might enjoy what you hear and think like what I'm thinking, and that a lot of these cards are really cool, and just need to be broken a little bit. So starting things off today, we have Diamond Master. This is a 4-cost follower with 2 attack and 5 defense. And before we get to its fanfare effect, so it actually has a very cool lingering effect that's kind of the opposite of aura. The effect says that if it can be selected by your opponent's card effects, it must be selected by your opponent's card effects. So meaning if this card doesn't somehow gain aura, meaning it cannot be targeted by card effects, then your opponent can only select this card with card effects and not your other followers. So I think this effect alone is probably one of the best things Haven gets in this set, because it really helps with the Storm strategy. So with this on board, you know, my initial thoughts are you can confidently send in cards like your Holy Falcons or other Storm followers to swing at your opponent, and you don't have to worry about quick effect spell cards like Surefire Bullet or Blazing Breath, Execution, because they would have to first hit Diamond Master with those, and just doing all that simply costs way too many play points to even be worried about it. So anyway, Diamond Master's fanfare effect also allows you to give it itself either Storm or Ward, depending on what you need. It also can evolve for 3 play points, in which case it jumps to being a 4 attack, 7 defense, and it allows you to select a follower with Ward or Storm in your cemetery that costs 3 play points or less and put it directly onto the field. I love this card. I think it's such a strong addition to Haven. And honestly, I'm just really glad we have another strategy for this craft outside of pretty much Aegis. I'm really excited for this new Storm strategy, and this card, honestly, just, I don't want to say it's the bread and butter because it does cost a bit, but it matters so much. You know, it's such a good control card that can also be aggressive. I'm a big fan. Next up is Ruby Falcon. God, just look how beautiful this card art is. It's a silver, so I think it's going to get a premium rare, and I bet you anything this is going to be gorgeous. I really hope it does, but Ruby Falcon is a 3-cost follower, 3 attack, 3 defense, and ward. It has a lingering effect that says whenever another follower on your field has either ward or storm attacks. Let me say that again. A follower that has storm or ward on your field, when that card attacks, you deal 1 free damage to the enemy leader. I don't think I even said that much better the second time. You also have the option of paying 2 extra play points at any point in your turn to give Ruby Falcon Storm, which is nice. Finally, Ruby Falcon can evolve for 1 play point only, in which case it jumps to being a 4/4, and you're able to select an enemy follower on the field and deal it 2 damage. So I think this is a very solid card, and you can clearly combo this with Diamond Master to create a bigger board by bringing it back from the cemetery. I do think the cost of 2 play points to give the card Storm is a little costly, but I like that you have that option at least. But I think the winning effect of this card, though, is definitely the free damage you deal to your opponent when a Storm or Ward follower attacks, because it gives extra value to not only itself, but other cards like Bellringer, for example. I don't know about you guys, but I've been in plenty of situations before in testing where I've swung with a Bellringer directly just to be funny, like, ha ha ha, swing for 0. But now you actually can, you know, swing for 0 while Ruby Falcon's up, and it'll deal 1 damage to the enemy leader. And in this game, you know, in Shadowverse Online, by default, you're capped at 20 damage, or sorry, 20 health. In Shadowverse Evolve, there is no limit. So every bit of damage matters, because if you heal up to 12, you know, you're at your maximum. But, you know, if you can clearly, obviously, as you guys know, you can heal up to 25 in this game. or more. There's really no limit. So every bit of damage matters, and especially in an aggro deck like Stormhaven, I think that's a legitimate strategy. Swing with Bellringer, deal 1 damage. So I like this card a lot. I think, and like I said, it's going to be a gorgeous premium rare. I can't wait to get it myself. But next we have Amethyst Lion. This is a 2-cost follower with 2 attack, 1 defense, and Storm. Honestly, this card already is just great, in my opinion, but it does also have an additional effect that allows you to select another follower on the field that has Storm Award already, not itself though, and give it +1 attack. So this is a great combo card in the Storm strategy, and I think it combos really well with Diamond Master. Honestly, I think this card alone, instant 3F for the strategy. If you're going to play Aggro Haven, you're going to play through this card, in my opinion. Next is going to be, I'm not really sure about this one, but it's a neat play, I think. Wingy Chirpy Gemstone, 1-cost follower with 1 attack, 1 defense, and it has Ward. So if nothing else, it's a 1-drop Ward. It can also evolve for 2 play points, and it'll become a 2/2 follower, and it allows you to search your deck for a follower with 2 or less attack, reveal it, and add it to your hand. So we just went over Amethyst Lion, so we could search Amethyst Lion. You know, it's not a bad play for sure. I think that Wingy is you know, just something to consider. Maybe it's a budget option. Actually, it's a gold. I just realized. I think Amethyst Lion should have been a gold. Oh man, that's highway robbery right there. I think they got robbed of the better rarity. But anyway, next up is Bejeweled Shrine. This is a new 1-cost amulet for Haven. This card, after it's been played for 1, requires that you spend another play point to activate its effect, which is to select a follower on your field with Ward or Storm and give it +1 attack and defense. So I think this is so good for the strategy. There's a couple cards later in the video that I want to bring up that combo with this card really well, but at face value, getting that extra damage in with this card will really help speed up this deck, even though it's technically requires a little bit of setup, but I think this card's fantastic. I'm really excited about this one. Bird Keeping Disciple is a 4-cost follower with 5 attack, 4 defense, and Ward. These are very good stats already, just for a 4-drop, especially with Ward, in my opinion. But it also has a fanfare effect that requires you engage an amulet on your field and summon a free Holy Falcon, so a 2/2 Storm. This is a stronger play than, like, it's essentially a stronger Beast Call Aria, because you have 2 bodies right away for 1 more play point. And I think that just on turn 4, you're staring down a 5/4 Ward and a 2/2 Falcon with Storm. You've already taken 2 damage. Going into your turn 4, that's really menacing. Especially if your opponent leaves up the Bird Keeping Disciple, which I would do every time, because you know, it's an aggressive deck. You want to get that 5 damage in if you can. I think that's terrifying. I think that's a really powerful card. It's a shame it's only a bronze, because I think this would have made a better gold or silver. But finally on our list, we have Princess Snow White. I think this is the first Fairy Tale card on our list today. This is a 2-drop follower, 2 attack, 2 defense, and Ward. I'm going to read out the entire effect on this one and then come back to describe my thoughts on it. Fanfare: if this follower was put onto the field from your hand, put a Fairy Tale counter on it. Also fanfare: if this follower was put onto the field from anywhere other than your hand, so you get one of those effects, give it +1 attack and defense. And finally, it also has last words: if this card has a Fairy Tale counter on it, put it in your EX area. So this follower, when you first play it from your hand, will end up coming back to your EX area, essentially replacing itself, so you have another 2-drop follower play the next turn. Then when you play it out of your EX, it'll be a 2-drop follower, or sorry, it'll be a 3/3 with Ward. It's not going to come back after that unless you happen to play other cards that can give it another Fairy Tale token again, or Fairy Tale counter, sorry. But I still think this is really floaty a little bit, and it helps Haven maintain a little bit of card advantage. And it even contributes to the strategy a little bit of getting a Ward follower on the board that you can possibly give Storm to. So this will be a legendary in set 3, and I bet it's going to be a beautiful super legendary as well. So going to the cards that I think that you should consider making sure you have if you want to play this deck. I don't think you should sleep on Beast Call Aria, the promo version. If you've ever seen it in person, it's beautiful. Right now they're less than $1. They are less than $1, and there's plenty. I mean, there's actually only a couple that are less than $1, and then you have a lot of listings here at $1.50. So yeah, I would just make sure I have some, but I mean, there's plenty on the market, so no rush on that really. But going into the Megiro cards, I really want to talk about Megiro McQueen. I think this card is, especially in an aggro strategy, this card can send an amulet to deal 3 damage directly to the leader with, without attacking or anything. So I think a lot of this card's listings are criminally low. Like look at the the SL for the main deck. It is so cheap. They're all less than $3, or most of them are less than $3 before they quickly go up to. Yeah, so it looks like there's only 5 listings that are below like $5-ish. Then it goes up to 8 and 10, and so I mean, if you're thinking about playing the card, that's a really cheap SL. Even the super legendary, honestly, this is a super cheap not super legendary SP. The signature version. This is really cheap for a signature card, honestly. Especially if you're playing 3, you can complete a whole play set in the main deck for less than $200, or $210. So yeah, that's comparatively, that's a lot better than the other ones. So I would look at Megiro, just make sure you at least have the base ones, but the super legendaries are very good buy. Another Megiro card is Megiro Ryan. I think this card is really, this is going to be a 3 of in this particular strategy, because when an amulet or Megiro follower you control leaves the field, give this follower rush. It's a 3/2 rush. That's fantastic for what you need. And there are so many copies for less than a couple bucks. Looks like there's about 10 of them or so, and then they become immediately $2 and up. So I would look into getting the foil version. Sorry, this is the foil version, not the common, but the foil version. It looks gorgeous if you've never seen it. So I would look into getting the foil version sooner rather than later. And then Maisho Dodo, this one is a little bit more than $2 right now. But yeah, this one card also, in my opinion, is going to be a 3 of, because it does combo well with the Bejeweled Shrine. So it can bring Bejeweled Shrine out directly from the deck. If you went second, you do that on turn 3. So then the next turn, you're likely going to buff something for free. And then, yeah, I mean, it just kind of helps get, like, not the engine rolling, but your aggro strategy rolling. So I would look at getting this card while it's still a couple dollars, because after this first page of listings, I mean, it's already at $3 before that listing even ends. But yeah, then it quickly is going to start turning into, $5 or so. It looks like there's a lot of listings, but there's a lot of them are only like one inventory piece, so it's really not that much. So anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed these videos. I'm not sure what class I'm going to cover next time, but let me know in the comments what you want to see, and please remember to like, comment, and subscribe so I can continue bringing you more Shadowverse Evolved content. That's all I got for you guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.